Hello and welcome back to the third episode of Pebble in the Sky. Last time we left with a bit of immune system problems that I think was the result of me leaving polluted water bottles and not really getting the tank down. So we'll see if that actually gets solved now. I'm not going as fast as I would like to. We're already at cycle 12 and it feels like I got nothing done. I can actually shut this one off now for a little while. We got 5 duplicants working for us. And research-wise, we're working towards a better oxygen system where we use water for oxygen production. I do want to live or use the algae for as long as I can. Let's put here, and we're gonna have polluted water here, and I'm gonna put that on high priority as well because I really want them to empty out all the polluted water there as soon as possible to get the disease away from here. Like those polluted water really contains a lot of germs, so or germs, is that correct? I hope so. All right. Anyway, the water tank there is coming along. What is the next goal? I think we want to... Yeah, alright. So they're now emptying out the water. I think we're gonna start actually preparing for our oxygen plant. We don't have all the things we need to produce the oxygen. Now what I know is it's going to create quite a bit of heat. So I want it far away from the living area and where I might have farms in the future. And it's also, well, I need to do select new research. So let's take the pumps because I need an air system as well. I don't, once it's built, it doesn't really require any maintenance, or should not. So we might as well kind of try to fit it somewhat far away. It's already warm over here, so maybe this could be a decent place for it. We got some chlorine down here. How else is it looking? It's also warm up here. I'm not exactly certain where might be the best place. Or just far down, right? Actually here is not too bad of an area. So I could just go ahead and dig my way down here. I don't want to let that water escape. So let's see, this is going to be one floor, this is going to be a floor, this is going to be a floor, and this is going to be a floor. And here we're going to have like the fire pole, right? Just to measure it up. It's just small markers to somewhat like get stuff in the correct place to start with for the most part. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the oxygen production over here, way out, away from this. So I won't heat this up early because one thing we really do like early on is a way to cool down the base. And I don't really want it to get hot. So Ren's immune system is somewhat. Let's see. Do we actually have? We have a med bay. Better than nothing, I guess. So what should we put? We could probably put that area up here, I guess. I don't actually know if a med bay helps against that. I know like apothecary is really good to combat immune system to make those pills. Let's gonna put it here so we have one. It's better than nothing, I guess. Alright, how did that happen? I guess they will have to do some tidying up there. Alright, out of coffee. Are we out of the woods here? Yeah, nice. So that actually solved the problem where the germs running a bit rampant in the base, so his immune system should, at least in theory, start ticking upwards again once we got this area done, so he's not in like any type of infected zone. We also need him to actually get down here. So next floor tile is going to be over here. and I don't really want to dig down here yet, so that means the floor is gonna go over here somewhere, and the next floor is probably gonna be down here. I always do like four stories high, so it's something like this, right? And we can just dig this up out as well. But I do want to finish this one, so I am done with anything that has to do with infection. So just finish this one out like this. A bit higher priority. Food wise 11,000, that is alright. Research we lack. So what else do we need for the research for my oxygen system? I need a filtration system to filter out oxygen from hydrogen. So let's go with that. I also would like some bigger batteries, but that's a later problem. At least we did combat the stress. I mean, stress levels are really low, so that's not really an issue at all. Some puffs over there. We do have reeds here as well. I might want to get to those. Alright, almost daytime. So that's pretty much, this is how I usually start stuff. I haven't really done anything that is a lot different than in my normal games. I mean, the phase might be different, and it also depends where the different stuff is situated, but it's kind of in this area. I do in the last two updates, like my gameplay through the last upgrade. I did go for art a bit earlier than I used to early on, because stress is a bit more problematic with the jobs upgrade. However, now in the ranching upgrade there's new stuff, but I mean that's still there, right? So you have to care about the stress levels. I can finish this water tank now. Actually, I really want to get this one just done so they don't have to spend time there. But what I want to do next is start venturing out. I want to start to look for different assets to plan my build strategy, because especially now with the new geysers, your strategy might actually depend on what geysers you find, right? Because they will give you different solutions to mainly actually getting power, getting cold, stuff like that, right? So I think that's my main objective, and in order to do so I need to get some stuff up. We're still somewhat good, I think, on algae. I will need to clean a bit more out somewhere. Maybe here's some more algae. Let's actually dig that up and that up. But at some point, quite soon now, I can't rely on algae anymore. Sure, I could mine this out as well, but I might as well plan ahead now. Oh, actually, we got like a huge amount of algae over here. So maybe we could actually live on that. The big pro of kind of making your oxygen through algae is it does not produce heat. Not any major amount of heat anyway, and it does not use water. So before, when you could just like water, as soon as you found the geyser, you had the water problem was solved, right? So I think actually it might be a good idea to prepare my oxygen solution just to have it in case I need it, but maybe actually not use it before I know what I will do with water supply. So or how long I have to live with the water I got, and use algae a lot longer. So we do need it for the exosuits though, because you can't really pump oxygen. Well, you could probably put a pump here, right, and pump it in. Yeah, that's true. Actually, you can just pump it from wherever right into your exosuits. I don't need that for exosuits either. Because this is not going to be a lot of breathable air down here. So how much algae do we have here? It's actually not that much in kilos. 130, how much is this one using? I never used them for long, so I don't really know. Let's see. Alright, 550 grams per second. That's 1 kilo a second. So you're actually burning algae quite fast with those. Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to deal with that. Well, anyway, you're just gonna make the oxygen production anyway. At least this tank is ready now, so you don't really have to worry about that. We can do this production. So down here, I figure, right? Like something like this. Like this. We do want the entrance a bit lower, so let's take the entrance down here. We need... oh, yeah. I need actually to do a manual airlock for this one. So, what do I need for that? I need... It feels like I have memory like a goldfish. Or maybe just moved stuff around more than I remember. Not going for those toilets yet. So that's not it. Manual airlock. So we need pressure management, right? Yeah, we don't have any research going right now. Let's do that actually. Manual airlocks, pressure management. We might as well. Oh, poor guy. He got stuck. So let's do like this. I don't want him to... Do he have any? Holding breath. That's not good. That's not good at all. Suffocating. There we go. I don't want to kill off any duplicants. That would be kind of rather sad, yes. I try to manage my colonies without actually killing anyone off, so I'm not really fond of starting to kill people off now. That's actually the biggest risk you run of killing off your duplicants, is just that they build something. You can be partly blamed on poor planning how they build stuff, but they kind of dig themselves in a way and in an order where they get stuck somewhere and can't move, and you don't have any oxygen there, and they end up suffocating, right? And that's the most common way to die, I think. Or build themselves in somewhere. I actually think this time we will progress a bit further. Actually, I do want this one bit up, so we're gonna deconstruct this one. There's a little neat trick that I at least used to work to keep it from overheating too fast, where you just put a bit of water on the floor, and that will actually like keep them cooler a lot longer. So we buy ourselves time pretty much to get a more lasting cooling solution. I would prefer to actually have this in an abyssalite, but I don't have any abyssalite yet, so we'll just live with this for now. So oxygen wise, what we do want is some electrolyzers in here, so let's see, we can put them over here, I guess. We have room for one. We don't actually need more than one for now, so let's not construct two when we actually don't need it. Yeah, like that, right? Well, we make room so we can expand on this a bit later on. I think this will be all right. We don't have any airflow tiles yet, so what I'm gonna do is just put some something for them to walk on. We do need to have a bit of space in here, so I don't know exactly how big I want to make it. Just make it a bit big so we actually have room for some other stuff here if we want to, like this maybe. It's not like this room right now, it's probably poor planning. It's just I need something that works, and this will work. It's not going to be optimal in any way, but it will work for what I intend to use it for, right? The reason for... Oh, I can't make the airlock yet, but the reason for having the door at the bottom is this one is going to produce hydrogen and oxygen, and the hydrogen will end up somewhere over here, right? And by doing it this way, I make sure that there's a very little risk for the hydrogen to actually escape when they go in and out of the room if they do that. Actually, I kind of want some art up in the mess hall. So let's... our chef maybe could be artist. Who was the artist last time? I actually don't remember. It was probably Nicola, right? The goofer. Let's put him back to art, just for a little bit of time to produce painting in here. It's actually kind of nice in here already, but... The electrical grid right now is not anything like it will look in the future, because once you actually produce a lot more power, you need thicker power cords, transformators and stuff like that. So this is all temporary. Let's use research. So we got finally the manual airlock up. I do want apothecary, because even the pills that you can make from scratch without actually having access to balm lily, although I could actually get balm lily in here if I just tunnel through here, or maybe here even better. But even the placebo pills are kind of good to combat immunity, so I kind of want it up early if and when I go into the more dangerous zones. This is well underway. I think we can also get plumbing up, so we can place a liquid pump in here, and we can start on the liquid piping as well. So the liquid piping is going to go down here because I need this to be water. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to lead it all around. I think I'm just gonna do it like this, right? Once this is done, I'm just gonna dig out here to kind of lower this down a bit. So I'm not gonna do the pump yet, and I'm actually gonna place the pump over here. I think that will be a better solution. So we actually lower the water tank a little bit. The floor is gonna go over here though. Yeah, so if I want this even Steven, I actually want it one higher. It's gonna be a bit more tricky to actually probably want to do like this then, I guess. And we're gonna cancel this. I mean, this is not necessary by any means. It's more that I know I want the floor here in the long run, so I'm kind of trying to kind of make it neat. Even though it actually takes a little bit more time to do that. We're still living out of our mush bars. I should, when talking about it, actually put one on again. I don't need two of these. But in quite soon, we do want to start researching farming as well. We do have like plenty of dirt still, so we might as well use it for food. So I'm thinking I might actually do like the farm area here, so it won't be too far away. Research wise, we're almost done with the medical research. I'm not gonna start with laboratories yet, because that also consumes a lot of water. So I think what I want to do is, I actually have farm tiles already. Do I want I don't know, I don't really need that. Alright, let's actually just tunnel for the exosuits over here. For that I also need refined metal, which means we need metal refinery, right? So this is high priority and this is high priority, so that's probably what I will go for. And I'm probably gonna wait a bit with showers, and the automation can also wait. Agriculture can also wait. I do want refrigerators, so we might make a little detour there. The fossil fuels, definitely not needed. We don't have anything to burn with that yet. So this is gonna be nice to have. We also could actually put up our farm times over here. Use up some of that dirt. Yeah, they will have to. This actually do use. I think it uses a bit less water, so that's good from that perspective as well. Like last time I deviated and it took a lot of. I did everything but actually this water container. Despite actually at the start of the episode saying that what I would do during the episode, right? And now I'm doing everything but actually the oxygen production. So I'm ending up in the same trap. But let's see. So we do want exosuits. But before we do that, we do need smelting. Rock granulator. Actually, you can probably. I never used the rock granulator. I always used metal refinery. But I guess you can actually use the rock granulator to get refined metal as well. So let's just go for that one. So let's plant some mealwood here to give them some food. Sometimes they skip step, like for example the rock granulator, I never really used it. I just went straight for the metal refinery because I usually end up doing all the research fast enough to do that when I get to the exosuits before I build everything. So it might actually end up in that way, but it can be cool to kind of discover other ways to do it. Also, I don't think the rock granulator you get worse output, but it doesn't use a lot of water, so it might work. We'll see once we get there. I feel like I'm a bit off at the game right now because I didn't play much lately. I played a lot of other games in between that I haven't really done any videos of. It feels like I don't really know. I kind of have forgotten some details of the game. I have to check it. At least very soon we can stop using the mush bars, and that will hopefully mean they don't get as much diarrhea. Immunity systems up to 100%, that's good. Stress levels are very, very good, and this one is done, meaning I should put our Nicola back as a goofer. Alright. So he can carry stuff for us. Algae are going though. But not too bad actually. We still have some. Could probably clean up here as well and get a bit of algae over here. Let's do that. Let's get some extra algae over here as well. Duplicants, when you build, always seem to prioritize. If you don't set any specific priority, they prioritize what's closest for them first, meaning they will do this building before they care about this, simply because this is closer, even though you order it later. So that might be good to keep in mind, that if you want something done pronto and it's far away, you have to set a higher priority for it. You can't just set the same priority for everything and hope they build the things far away, because they will never get around to build it if you just all the time construct new things that's closer. So at some point this have to be done, either by me not thinking about other stuff to build, or by me setting a higher priority for it, like I did with this thing, right? Alright. This is already mealwood in here. How are we on temperatures? Still good, right? We can see that the coal plant do give off a bit of heat here. I'm actually thinking about moving it down here once this area is somewhat done. I think I'm gonna move the coal plant down here. I don't really want to dig in these things though. I'd rather wait with getting my poor duplicant's hands dirty. Also, we probably have some polluted dirt by now. Yep, we do. So let's see if we have any type of refining compost, and we can put the compost over here and put that one on a bit higher priority, so we get that one up to just deal with the polluted dirt, because I don't want a lot of polluted oxygen in the main area, right? Okay, still kind of looks somewhat decent. I still haven't really gotten outside of the starting area. And I mean, you can go outside the main starting area quite early or dig away. The problem is, before you can either transport your oxygen to where you go, or you have exosuits. You can't. It's kind of hard to get far away. You will have to construct like either algae deoxidizer or some other means to get oxygen to where you're going. So it's much easier to just go straight for exosuits, get them up, and then go wherever you want, right? It's just, I think it's just more efficient. So I don't really want to waste time on a lot of infrastructure to get somewhere where I can just skip that infrastructure as soon as I got exosuits. I can just use the time for something else. Research done again. So you see, you kind of burn through research rather quickly. So we got a rock granulator. Let's go for exosuit, environment protection. I think the rock granulator, it should be under refinement. So the thing with this one is that I've never really used it. So let's see how it works. It's probably gonna produce some heat, so let's put it like somewhat away, I guess. Like over here maybe. I'm not gonna use it much either. It's just temporary to get enough metal for exosuits. Alright, so hold on shift to draw straight lines. There we go. We also need some electricity down here as well. Like I said, I construct so much stuff, so we'll never actually get this one done, because they just do other stuff instead. At least we got the farms up. I mean, they're never really gonna construct this now once the farm tiles are there, though, because they can't really get to them. Doesn't really matter though. This works as a floor. However, it doesn't work as a floor if you intend it to be a farming room or a greenhouse, because then you actually need a real floor. But this is also just temporary. I'm not going to use the regular farm tiles. They're not going to live out of mealwood. They're going to get nicer foods later. So I don't really care. It's just a way to get somewhat better food early on. I could of course go for bristle blossoms. The problem for bristle blossoms is they use light, which create heat. They also use a lot of water, and I'm not really certain, like I mentioned earlier, how much water I will have access to. So I'm kind of preserving the resources, trying to not use a lot of resources until I actually have an alternative for those resources. So just like, for example, use up all the algae first, because I don't really need to use the water for oxygen production as long as I have easy accessible algae. So I can wait for that till later. Same with food. The stress levels, they are decent. I don't have a problem with stress. Why get them better food now when I can use up all that dirt I have? That I won't need later when I have more advanced stuff. So I might as well use those assets now early, before I have the tech for the late game. Because the thing is, if you kind of try to switch to late game assets or late game food, etc., before you need it, you kind of gonna probably have a problem, because it's more, and it uses a lot more energy, a lot more water. So it's rather preserving the resources early is a really good strategy for long-term sustainability, like before you get to long-term sustainability. Let's see. I think actually, damn, time goes fast. I think I'm almost up to 30 minutes again. It feels like we've gone pretty much nowhere. I think like 8 cycles. I feel like, when I started this, I thought I never really paid attention to how long time it took me. Oh, that's the alarm. Let's see. There we go. I don't really paid attention how long time it actually took me to get somewhere on earlier playthroughs. And I usually, maybe each 100 cycles or so, I made a new episode about something I discovered that I thought was interesting to talk about. And kind of turns out that was probably a lot of hours to get there. Because when you do it, like talk about everything you do in game, time goes so fast and you actually get, it feels like nothing done in game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll continue this in the next one, and hopefully I get at least somewhat done with my solution for oxygen that we're not really gonna need, but we're just making while, waiting for the search for the exosuits to be able to do those. Alright, cheers!